Sitting alone, Emmogene Anderson looked down at the alien tattoo on her left forearm. It was a length of script and symbols embedded into the flesh from just below the elbow to just above the wrist. The only way to remove them was through surgery and medications, she'd read once. It wasn't just a marking on the skin. It was part of the body. If you just tried to scrape it off, it would grow back. It was the mark of the alien collaborator. It was how the visitors had kept track of the humans who had served them. Visitors, she thought bitterly. It was the name they had preferred. It sounded non-threatening. They claimed to have hailed from a star in the constellation of Sagittarius, specifically the Sagittarius Dwarf Irregular Galaxy. Most people simply called them aliens, or the Greys, but they were more formally known as Sagittarians. It was strange, she thought. The most momentous occurrence in all of human history happened, followed by the bloodiest and costliest war ever. She'd been right there in the middle of it all, and yet she could scarcely remember it. Her memory had been wiped by the visitors at the end of the war, some 8 years earlier. She had only broken, fragmented memories of her life before that. Why did her mother take her to the visitors? What had she done when under their influence? What did they do to her? Emmogene had few answers. Maybe when she got out, she could figure out who she used to be and why she did the things she'd done. Getting out was not something she thought of very much. She had almost no recollection of being free. Being a prisoner in one way or another was all she knew. For the first 3 years after the war ended, she'd been on the run with the United Earth Alliance holdouts, people who refused to accept that the visitors had abandoned them. They rarely stayed in one place for more than a few months, and she was never allowed to leave. After that, she'd been captured, shipped back to the United States, and put on trial. She frowned and looked down at the remains of the food on her tray. What was the point of worrying about all this now? It would be months before she was even eligible for early release. Until then, the only thing she could do was keep her head down and stay out of trouble. She spent most of her free time in the facility's small library. She expected that by the end of her sentence, she'd have read every single book there.